I'm Jill, this is Noel, and in 2021 we bought this sweet little Irish cottage nestled in the middle of a forest clearing, affectionately named Our Hidden House. There's more to why we chose that name, and to find out more you'd need to watch episode 1. We'll link it at the end. This is a time-lapse of our renovation journey since then, although it won't be as satisfying before and after because, well, life just isn't like that. There are unexpected twists and turns, and we had curveballs that stalled and sometimes completely halted progress. So we hope this roller coaster review will encourage anybody who's feeling frustrated with the process. The key is to not get discouraged, hold on to the vision, keep going, and know that the best things in life really are worth waiting for. Our first obstacle was being able to view the property to buy it. Lockdown hit with quarantine restrictions in place, meaning we couldn't visit. Thankfully, we had friends living in Ireland who agreed to view it on our behalf, meaning our first impression of the house was through seeing photos and videos just as you are doing now. Here's Declan's viewing commentary.
This is the road up from the main road, and we'll come around here now, and this is the road, well, the gate and the road down to the house. So, let's have a look here. Just looking in the front window here. Oh yeah, you can see it. I don't know if you can see the staining on the roof, on the ceiling there. Probably means that there's some leak.
Once travel restrictions were lifted, we got to view it ourselves in person in summer 2021. Here's the moment we step inside the door for the first time. Measuring up. Be able to salvage that. And the cooker. Look at that. Yeah. I think that'll be going. What's been left, including the lady. From the front door we're turning right. We're going to this room, which is got a little fireplace. Let's go through here. So this is off from the first room you come into. We go through this little hallway to the bathroom. Nice. Yeah. Little mirror. Toilet. Now we hit a big problem when we tried to prepare the ground for the septic tank. A lorry carrying grit tumbled into the ditch and the road crumbled before our very eyes. There's a problem because that road did need to take the weight of heavy goods vehicles if we were going to be able to continue with the renovation. We didn't have tens of thousands of pounds to buy a new road, but someone had the idea that the land that we did have would contain stone that could become hardcore. So we opened up the adjoining field and uncovered a seam of rock, meaning we now had our very own quarry. We just had to pay for labour and equipment, which wasn't cheap. But the land did come to the rescue. We were able to repurpose resources we already had, and we had a brand new, durable, strong road. We went ahead with our planning application to extend at the rear of the building, but for the time being, the gate was shut. There was just one thing that needed immediate attention, however, and that was those tall pine trees at the back of the building. With high winds, they threatened to topple and crush the building, harming anyone inside it. Felling these trees wasn't an easy decision, but one that had to be made. Woo, look how close that was to the car. You can find out more about the advice we were given and why we came to that decision in episode 3. So for the next year we licked our wounds and worked hard to refill our pockets, but we were pleased with that lovely road. It makes a very welcoming entrance to the property. The following year we arrived to floods. The felling of the trees, the debris had just blocked up the natural gullies and everywhere got waterlogged, so we need to lay new drains to keep the water and redirect it away from the house. It was so different to our usual lives being here. We were really roughing it, living off-grid. We had no electricity, no running water, and what else didn't we have? No sewage. How could I forget? We had no toilet. Yeah, that was quite a challenge actually, but we managed. I thought you might want to know our toilet routines. So we've got our portable toilet here, which I'm not going to show you anything grim. When you lift it up, it has got a lid there. So you always need to remember to take that lid off before using. And then we have some little bags. And what we do is we don't put toilet paper in here. We put toilet paper in the back, fold it over, and we'll take these to the fire to incinerate them. Wanted to show you, this is the setup outside, and we've got it connected there to the battery.
14.1 now, the sun's come out.
The sun's just come out, and it's 14.1 volts that we're getting. So it's a really useful thing to have, and the solar panel can just keep the battery topped up, and then we can charge our phones. You can see Noel's phone is already in there charged. Washing up was done al fresco style with the help of rainwater and sometimes Roy's lips.
Dog licking the place.
So this is where they start off dirty, and then they go to here, and then they end up on here, and that's where I come in with my tea towel, and Roy, you have to stay out of the way. Enough frivolity, there's work to be done. So just about finished this room, clearing it all and sweeping it. So it's just doing the last little bits there, but you can see that from the original, if you remember back to the footage we put on earlier, that that fireplace has been taken out already, and you can see there's some lovely old stone there. So we are going to try and reuse stone. This will all be entirely different, but we'll salvage what we can. Vandalism. And when you're not having a natural flood, you create your own. What did you do? Oh, really? Gosh. I just saw it from the back window. I know. Will it stop? Oh no. I don't know. I'm just saying we need to find a laundrette. You're a bit of a mess, love. And it's out. Gosh. Oh yes, it was one problem after another, which invariably happens when a family of townies go to rural Ireland without having a clue what they're doing, and learn the hard way. The car broke down and needed to be towed away, meaning we had to walk a mile each day to collect water, all the while cooped up in a tiny two-berth caravan. Oh, and we lost the dog. We definitely heard a bark, and we all heard it. Hear the full sorry grisly details in episode 10 and 11. What is it? Oh, have you made a little bridge?
Yeah, a little bridge.
A little thing for carrying water? What do you... Oh,
Well, I don't know.
see.
I don't know what it's for, really.
What, with buckets on either side?
Well, I don't know. Probably more for...
Yeah.
No, for maybe...
No, it is in fact a harness for cattle to pull a plough.
I think this bucket's worth keeping, Danny.
Don't know that. There's a hole in it.
Probably not. There's a hole in my bucket.
It is like living in a nursery rhyme or a fairy tale or a folk song.
A living nightmare, darling. That's what it is.
A main priority to keep environmental health happy was to have a fully functioning septic tank. And this white box that you see being put together here is in fact a polishing filter, which is a kind of sewage treatment area with different layers of gradations of sand and grit, with a network of pipes. It's really quite technical, but the idea is that the raw sewage that's fed into that from the septic tank will be cleaned and come out safe from polluting the land. 98% clean water apparently, although we won't be trying to drink it. What's amazing is that white box will disappear completely as the land is backfilled, and it will blend seamlessly with the landscape. The next job is to clear the land, to pull out those big tree roots and level it so that you have a very smooth area around the house ready for construction. Oh, look how bleak it looks in the winter months with all the outbuildings and trees gone, apart from that little copse at the side that we left. But come the spring, the greening returns and the house is ready for its next phase of life. Cue Dowser Jim, who came to help us find water for the drilling of the well. He actually located somewhere that was different to where the old pump house was. He found two rivers, streams underground that crossed.
Oh, wait, it's flowing that way.
He said that that would be the optimal place for maximum capacity flow.
There's one also coming this way. So there's two of them crossing here.
It was really fascinating, and you can watch more about the well drilling in 2 videos we made. Roy found it all very exciting anyway. The Kerry Council acknowledged receipt of our grant application, but until the inspector came out to visit, we couldn't do any of the work included on it. We had to leave the building alone and carry on with work in the grounds for the time being. Finally, the inspector calls the man from Kerry Council. He say yes. All set to work immediately, creating a hole in the wall for the electricity box connection. We also removed the chimneys as we won't be needing them. We'll be using the original house for bedrooms, and the chimney breasts take up a lot of space. Trying to keep an eye on him.
350, 3.5 metres wide.
Can I just say, I
Yeah.
think you'll find
Go on.
that from this wall here
was probably the original wall, where these wooden beams are.
Yes.
And this bit here was added on afterwards.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that it's all been sort of blocked in and added to.
And probably,
there.
oh, that looks
There's all
like
different
stone.
layers, you
That
see.
does
There's
look
all
like
different
stone, but it's probably
sort of
breeze block
bits
in
to
the,
it.
inside here. You can see it's breeze block.
But like you say, if it's taking up 3.5 metres of floor space in a tiny little cottage, then it's too much.
It may look characterful from a distance, but up close that chimney was a heavy, ugly lump of concrete, and it took some budging.
That is unbelievably heavy.
Well, that's what they put on top of the roof. You feel how dense that concrete is?
I'm surprised the roof could take the weight.
I know, it's unreal, isn't it?
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't resting on the roof, it was resting on the chimneys.
Yeah.
But
So much concrete.
that was an awful job putting a slab of that up there.
Do you think she's rallying the troops? Oh no, she's coming towards me. Scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm running. Look, she's going. Can you believe it? A roof with a view. And what a view it is.
So finally, the first chimney's gone. Got a big hole in the roof now. Need to get some cladding on that before we go any further, before we tackle the second chimney. So you can see this chimney is made of stone. It's not made of blockwork like the other chimney on the other side. So hopefully, once I get this concrete top off, which is proving difficult, it should be slightly easier to take down than the other chimney, which should be nice.
Don't let me fall into that bog again.
Get out! I didn't expect that.
What did you expect, love? You're in Ireland. We were so pleased when they found water. It meant we could stay here and make this place our forever homestead. Let's just recap the difference a year makes. Not long after we had water, we also had electricity. The ESB arrived and connected us to mains supply. This made a massive difference as we no longer needed to rely on the generator for the power tools. So full steam ahead, removing plaster from walls, rotten roof timbers and stud walls. Yes, that is the bathroom wall that's being demolished. So much for privacy. If I remember rightly, this is the point at which the toilet was relocated to the shipping container outside, which, although it had no plumbing, at least it had a door.
When we finish, we just remove the bucket and we carry it. So everybody does this after they've done it, just like you would flush your own stuff away. You deal with your own stuff, then nobody's got a horrible job of slopping out. And I would come up here. This is where we'll come. To where the long grass is. So right away from the house, right away from anybody, and you know.
Okay, enough filth for one video. With Sid and I shortly to return to the UK for work and college commitments, Noel was left alone to remove all that plaster from the wall. And it really was a tedious, slow job. He could really do with another pair of hands. No sooner had he thought this than he had a visit from Heather, a kind neighbour who helped us when we lost Roy in the forest. When he mentioned that he was thinking about advertising for a labourer, she said, "My husband might be able to help you out for 2 days a week." And Pete started the very next day. He was such a godsend. With a team effort, the interior space soon became completely transformed. While demolition was happening inside, outside, construction work was beginning with the digging and laying of the foundations. As we'd ordered a truckload full of concrete, it made sense to lay the foundations for the garage at the same time.
These are our first load of blocks. Dropped off yesterday. 10 bales inside the house. 10 bales waiting outside the house. We've also got some of these thermalite blocks, which are more of an insulated block, a bit lighter in weight, than a normal block. They go against the inside of the slab, just as an extra bit of insulation to stop the heat running away and into the walls.
Shortly after the delivery of the blocks came the arrival of a block layer. Don't we love it when a plan comes together? We were soon able to get a sense of the size and scale of our kitchen, dining, living area as the extension took shape. Just look at the soft, warm tones of that natural stonework. What a transformation. Raking and pointing turned into a bigger job than expected due to the fact that there were some real deep cavities and holes in the walls that needed rebuilding rather than just filling.
That's better. That's just rough for now. I'll get that finished off a little bit better, but it makes a big difference to the state of that wall.
Other jobs for autumn were the capping of the well and the installation of the water pump. This also required running the pump each day to hopefully see the water run clearer.
This is a day one sample of the water from the well. Murky, murky. Yesterday. Today.
That is quite an impressive improvement, as is Noel's haircut. With no mirror and little contact with the outside world, Noel was unaware of the extent to which he underwent his own personal transformation. But he's back, all's well that ends well. Well, we hope you've enjoyed that roller coaster ride of our renovation journey so far. The next important phase will be the laying of the slab and radon barrier throughout, connecting both buildings. But that will be in the next 30-minute roundup in another 3 years' time. No doubt a lot will have changed by then, but hopefully some things will remain the same. I just come out because that sunset was so lovely and I wanted to show it to you. You might notice how quiet it is too, apart from the sound of the little stream.